The Kruger National Park in Mpumalanga is working closely with the National Institute for Communicable Diseases in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak. Now, the park is hosting delegates from more than 50 countries for the 22nd session of the African Forestry and Wildlife Commission, which coincides with the 6th African Forestry and Wildlife Week. And the week-long event will start today. Well, our reporter Tumelo Machoge is out in Mpumalanga at the Kruger National Park, and hopefully he'll get to speak to some of the delegates. But let's cross over to Tumelo now.
Well, good morning, Sakina. Indeed, 53 countries from African countries that actually converged here at Kruger National Park for that conference for the African Forestry and Wildlife Commission. So the 53 countries and ministers and expert and technical expert will be meeting here to make sure they come up with a solution policies that will actually deal with issues of forestry and wildlife. You know very well that the Kruger National Park is being actually fighting against the rhino poaching, elephant poaching, and also poaching of endangered plants and species here at the Kruger National Park. So these experts and these ministers and also ministers of environmental affairs from across the African continent will be here to make sure they come up with policies to how to address issues of these kind of issues, and not also issues of climate change, issues of climate change, and issues that are actually affecting our environment. And actually the drought, we know the drought has also prolonged very, very long here in South Africa. Kruger was also the hardest hit because this is actually the biggest park in Africa, and also it was affected by that. So these ministers and these officials, they are going to be here to talk about those issues. For the next 4 days is going to be talking about those issues, about how are they going to deal with and how are they going to implement policies to make sure that issues of this nature are being addressed. We're expected actually to speak to the DG of the Environmental Affairs here in South Africa, but now they have been locked in a meeting. I'm not sure if they're going to come out anytime soon to come and speak to us, to tell us about what is the process or what is expected to happen throughout these 4 days that the ministers and also expert and also leading expert in the field of forestry and also in the field of environmental affairs and wildlife, what is expected to happen here in the next 4 days. We know that the event is expected to take place and expected to start around about 9:30, and also the Deputy Minister of Environmental Affairs will also be addressing all the ministers and also all the experts that are actually converge here. We've been speaking to a lot of them, especially yesterday, and asking them about issues of corona and all those kind of things, of coronavirus. But also the Kruger National Park, we spoke to a doctor here at Kruger National Park. They're saying that the park itself is ready to deal with any eventualities because they have already been in communication with the NIC because issues here, and also to make sure that they deal with how they're going to screen people, especially tourists that are coming in here, but also people that also these delegates that are coming from these 53 countries here. Also, how are they going to make sure that they deal with the situation if any coronavirus is being detected here? But also the Kruger National Park is saying that they are ready to deal with anything. But also these experts, they are likely to talk about the coronavirus and how it has been affected the globe, and how has everything like this coronavirus has surged throughout the world, and also knowing that South Africa also has already 3 confirmed cases. Sakina.
Oh, thank you so much, Tumelo Machoge, out at Kruger National Park. Very interesting conference this promises to be, given what was discussed in the previous interview where our guest spoke about the tourism industry and how that was meant to see as some sort of springboard to boosting our economy. And now that seems to be under severe attack as a result of the coronavirus outbreak. But let's leave it there for the time being. No doubt we will be checking in with Tumelo throughout the day, but it's time